Our special guest today on the show, speaking to one of the critical sectors of the economy on port operations, is Dr. Vincent Nwani. He is the chairman of Maritime Group at the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Mr. Nwani, thanks for coming on the program.
Thank you. I'm the director of research and advocacy, just to be clear on that.
You're the one who loved what you did on Maritime last year.
Thank you.
Quite well. And that's what part of what we're discussing today. It looks like several months after that, explain some of the problems in port operations in Nigeria and what your group push out as the some solutions, looking at it, what the stakeholders really pushed out. But let's start with what the acting president spoke about, the economy that he says Nigeria deserves a country that works for everyone and not just for a very few elite, and that they've learned from the past mistakes and they're going to do the economy a lot better. Do you think the acting president, speaking on behalf of the administration as a whole, was frank, was forthright, and I mean, in terms of being very factual on what the state of the economy really is?
Well, at least the speech of the acting president is able to elicit some hope. You know, that's exactly the feeling I feel as I got from the speech. It's in-depth and tries to at least provide highlights across board, both ease of doing business, infrastructure issue, even governance, budget. You know, there are concerns, but the truth is that the speech is able to provide a fair review of where we're coming from, where we are, and maybe where we're going in the next 2 years. But just a quick reminder, everybody said we are now on halftime. We're not on halftime. Technically, we're on halftime, but actually we're not on halftime. We've already exceeded halftime because we know that the full course of this administration is going to run effectively for just the next 18 months, not 2 years as we assume, because we know what electioneering campaign transition. By this time, next year, 2 years time, we'll be swearing in a new president or whatever, a new administration will be coming in, or this administration will continue, whatever the election come up to be. But we have just about 18 months to walk the talk. And that is why we need to move from words of mouth to action. Budget is up till now. This is May 29. We've not seen the budget signed. The acting president said in the next few days or few weeks the budget will be signed and we'll be able to see all the social projects, the infrastructure projects, and all of those running. So fine and good. But one of the takeaway for those of us in the private sector is that for the first time, personally, for the first time, I can see that ease of doing business is even incorporated in the president's speech, also making a clear affirmation that he has been working, or they have been working with the private sector, and they will continue to work with the private sector to craft the right policy and provide private sector with the right environment to be able to do business, prosper, and grow the economy. So to that extent, we're happy and we're connected, but it is more than words. It is about action and implementation. 2 years,
or if you look at the ports operations, if you look at the seaport operations, remain very chaotic. The roads in and out still largely decrepit as they were when this administration took over. Do you think anything was really achieved as far as ports operations was concerned in the first 2 years?
In the first 2 years, unfortunately, port operation is still very low in terms of contribution of the maritime industry to GDP, still low, a little bit below 1% across board. Even in China, port operation contribute about 9% to GDP. In South Africa, very close, about 4%. So you can see we're lagging behind a lot of issues, infrastructure, not just road to the port, road outside the port, road within the ports are challenges. Infrastructure facilities within the port, even port governance. It's also a key issue. We've seen situations where products are meant for export. You know, you travel all the way from Kano, all the way from the east, and you get to the port road and the thing got destroyed. Or goods worth millions of dollars from China getting to the port, cleared successfully, and on the way to climb the bridge in Apapa, the thing got damaged because the container have to follow the truck because of bad road. You know, the consequence on the importer, the bank that financed, and a whole lot of other chains of stakeholders. And it's happened every other day. There are other issues such as delay. You know, the target we set for ourselves is that you clear in the port just 48 hours, but it lasts up to a week, 2 weeks, 14 days. On the average last year, over the last 1 year, the average time to clear goods in the port is between 7 days to 14 days. The target government set for itself is 6 days. We have about 14 agencies in the port. We are supposed to have about... So there are a lot of issues.
Quite a lot
so
of issues.
In terms of port, we've not really made the type of progress we've made. But the good news is that government is now realizing we're almost at the same page that we have problems that need to be fixed.
We will have enough time with you, Mr. Vincent Nwani, to discuss this on the program. The director in charge of research and advocacy at LCC. I will come back to you after the break. Let's take a break. TV, you can find us there. That's the big platform for your comments, queries, and joining the conversation. Give us your thoughts of your own, or you want to put it at Biz Morning, or you can tweet at me at B Bolson. Now let's continue. On Sunday, the Corporate Communications Unit of the Federal Airports Authority of Nigeria issued a statement regarding the new executive order signed on May the 18th, Thursday, May the 18th, by the acting president, Professor Yemi Osinbajo. The FAN management says, quote, there will be full compliance with the executive order. And what does it relate to? Relating to non-official staff of the agency FAN should be found on duty. No touting by official or unofficial persons at all ports of entry to Nigeria, and all on-duty staff must be properly identified by uniform and official orders. That falls under Executive Order number 1 that was signed by the acting president. A quote here by the FAN statement released yesterday. The importance of the executive order cannot be overemphasized, especially because it will strengthen the nation's fight against terrorism, eliminate unnecessary bureaucracy that impedes business activities at our airports, improve safety, security, and passenger facilitation within and around the ports. End of quote. The statement says all passengers and airport users and the general public are asked to cooperate with FAN officials saddled with a task of carrying out the responsibility. That's a statement from FAN yesterday. First of such reaction to the executive order that was signed less than 2 weeks ago. Vincent Nwani, who is the Director of Research and Advocacy at the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, is live here in our studio for the next 45 minutes of the program. Thank you for hanging in here with us. This statement came in yesterday. Do you think this is one of the what you call the implementation, getting on the go as far as the ease of doing business at the port operations in Nigeria is concerned, this time from FAN?
Well, it's good news, but unfortunately, they are not even supposed to wait for the executive order to do the right thing. We've been talking about cleaning up the Nigerian airport environment, because that is a major impression zone for the country, especially for investors. We've been talking about foreign investors. You know, they can bring in their goods or whatever through the sea, but the man taking the decision comes through our ports. And both the human and environment, it's a challenge. The belts that bring in the luggages, it's an issue. Most times you come, the airport is not working, or the belts are not, so we have infrastructure issues. And the situation where you come up, you are dealing with the NDLA, you are dealing with custom, we are dealing with immigration, and so many people, some wearing uniform, many are not wearing uniform, holding on to your passport and asking, what do you bring for me? You did not put them in your plan while you are preparing for a journey into Nigeria. These are challenges, and it's only in Nigeria. In Nigeria, you see these things. In fact, I've been in an international journey when somebody will say, please, when you get back to your country, try and raise this issue. It's a shame that your country, they have to be begging visitors for money and all of these things. It's wrong. So we're happy that everybody is buying into that. But beyond just making it an executive order, we want some of these orders to be codified such that it can be legislated for robustness, for sustainability.
You get into, and I'm respectively caught in there. Let's go back to what you and your team put out last year at this very event as far as the maritime sector was concerned, and I'm going to reel out what the survey summary was, and I'm sure you have all this in your head. 91% of the users operators within the port operation says corruption is a big issue. 91%.
A very big issue.
Okay, that's almost 100%. 100% says there was poor transport and ICT infrastructure.